2024 was a crazy year. A lot of things happened. And so going into 2025, what goals that we can accurately set for 2025 to absolutely crush it when it comes to your personal finance. Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Gray here. Welcome back to another video. And in today's video, we're going to be talking about smart financial goals to crush 2025. I'm very passionate about this subject because I love any opportunity to kind of have a fresh start effect, to come in with the habits that I've built, the processes I've built, the systems I've built over my life, and then going into a brand new year, a brand new time frame. My life over the past 3 years, every single year has changed so dramatically, from moving out to starting my own business to getting married. Month over month, year over year, I am nowhere near the same place, and it's absolutely awesome to see. I want to kind of preface this video by saying we're all in different situations, and so for the most part, maybe some of these points might not apply to you, but you can make them apply to you. A good example would be savings. Obviously, if you have nothing saved, the goal is pretty straightforward. If you have 50K saved, though, maybe savings looks different. But we'll get to that here in a second. But I'm going to go ahead and jump to the first point, building an emergency fund. So one of the crucial foundations when it comes to really building wealth is investing, saving, and spending consciously. And so when you break it up in those three areas, a big thing of that is saving, and saving 3 to 6 months of living expenses. I'm talking food, clothing, shelter, transportation. Those are your 4 things that you need to survive. But when it comes to clothing, maybe that's shoes for work, pants for work. Maybe in the winter, it's a good jacket, investing in some good things to keep you warm. For your car, that's gonna be gas repairs, that one speeding ticket you got for going 96 and a 75. Basic needs to survive. I'd put that in a high yield savings account for one. But figure out what your baseline is. If you make 5K a month, but you only need to spend 2K to live, that's 2K a month. So save that up and save. I always aim for the higher end. So 6 months, it'll probably take you at least 12 to really build that up. But in 2025, you could absolutely crush it. I also want it to be in proportion with your bills. If your income is 4K and your bills are 2K, you could probably float through, a 4 to 5 month emergency fund, and you'd be okay. Especially if you lose your job, you could probably find something to make 2K that next month. However, if your bills are $10,000, it's going to be a lot harder. I want to be completely honest. I do not have a 12-month emergency fund yet. It takes time to build things like this. Actually doing the sacrifice now when it's possible will actually make it better when it's not an option, when you don't have a job or you have that actual emergency come up. And as I mentioned at the beginning of this video, it does vary from person to person. If you already have 10K saved up, or you already have a 6-month emergency fund that's greater than 10K, maybe you say, hey, I'm going to aim for 9 months, or I'm going to throw an extra 2 months of an emergency fund in there. That alone is making progress. And that I want you to consider that when you're setting these goals, is not just, okay, I checked a box and I'm done, but am I making progress month over month, year over year? So that kind of brings me to my second point, is focusing on investing. There's a lot to unpack here. If you are starting from a place where you're not invested at all, you are not in the market, you're not in any type of investment right now, if you have the money, start investing right now. Even if it's just 50 bucks, please start investing. There's a few accounts I want you to consider. Opening up a Roth IRA should be your first one. If you don't have a company match, this is especially great. The limit to what you can contribute going into 2025 is still going to be $7,000, same thing as it was in 2024. It is $583 a month. So let's see, can you set that as your goal? If you are not investing at all, how close to that 583 can you get? Because that will max out at least one retirement account, which would be fantastic, as retirement is one of those cornerstones of financial freedom. Then let's say you're already maxing out your Roth IRA. What are some other things we can do? Well, we can try to work on our 401k. We can work on our savings. I like investing in ETFs and index funds, focusing on that going into 2025. Could you invest? Let's say if you're at 10%, could you do 12%? Or if you're at 0, let's get you to 5. You cannot invest too much as long as you're not living above your means, as long as the investing is not taking away from what you're living with. As long as you're focusing on a zero-based budget, you can put as much as you want towards investing, and that is just continuing to grow your financial future. So that brings me to point number 3, being conscious of what you're spending your money on. And so going into 2025, can we reflect back on 2024? I spent a lot of money on food in 2024. So going into 2025, I want to be more conscious about what I'm spending my money on. Am I eating out? Am I buying good food for myself and my wife? Are we actually spending money the way that we want to be spending it? Spending money is okay, but actually making sure that you're consciously deciding this is what I want my money to do, and not wondering where it went. That brings me to point number 4, paying off that high interest debt. I want to preface this by saying if you have no high interest debt, let's keep it that way. Let's focus on building up the processes and systems such as saving money, building a good buffer within my checking account, living below my means, investing consistently, doing all these other things to focus on the fact that I don't actually have to go into high interest debt. If you have credit cards, if you have payday loans, if you're missing child support payments, if you're missing car payments, whatever it is, let's pay it off. Let's make a plan, and specifically, let's set a date in 2025, depending on the gravity and the severity of your debt. Let's pick a date when it's going to be paid off. Let's say, okay, if I have $10,000 and I make $100,000, let's see if I can pay this off in 3 months. And so by March 20th, can all my debt be gone? And that way from March to December, I can be actively focusing on investing and saving and building the financial life that I want. And then that brings me to point number 5. And so this used to be kind of an option, you know, in your financial picture. This used to be, the entrepreneur used to be a hard worker, and now it is more of a necessity. The side hustle has now become a necessity. Let's go hard in 2025. Let's absolutely push to get that second job, to start that extra business, whatever it might be, to generate that extra income. And I'm not trying to sell you a course. I don't care what you do. It could be, working 2 nights a week at a fast food joint. It could be, door dashing here and there. It could be a YouTube channel. It could be vending machines. I don't care how you get the money, as long as it's legal. I don't really care how you get there, but actually focusing on growing your income in 2025, so we're not getting stagnant. And then when that money does come in, don't blow it. Let's invest it. Let's save it. Let's pay off that high interest debt, and we'll build a better financial future in 2025. Anyway, guys, if you guys have enjoyed this video, let me know in the comments down below, and let me know what your financial goals are going to be for 2025. I'm going to be reacting and talking with y'all in the comments down below. I love talking about this. The idea of actually saving and investing money and setting out goals together is super cool. So let me know in the comments down below, and I will see you all in the next one. Adios.